These people are crazy. I'm Sophie Turner and I play Sansa Stark. Sansa in season 1, at the very beginning of the show, she's just kind of a highborn, noble young lady who is kind of very well-versed in being exactly that.
Fine work, as always. Well done.
Thank you. She wants to be queen one day and marry some kind of prince and just live a life like her parents. She has her younger sister, Arya. She just finds Arya quite disrespectful, not what a lady should be, and is pretty disapproving of her. At the beginning of the series, Joffrey, well, in episodes probably 1 and 2, Joffrey is everything she hoped for. She hasn't really met him yet, which is probably why she thinks he's so perfect. It's only really when Lady is killed, then the illusion begins to fade away.
I am Eddard Stark, Lord of Winterfell. I come before you to confess my treason in the sight of gods and men.
They take her father as prisoner.
My Lady Sansa has begged mercy for her father.
And she ends up having to kind of beg for her father's life.
So long as I am your king, treason shall never go unpunished.
The moment that Joffrey says, "Bring me his head," changes Sansa completely.
No! Stop it! No! Please, someone stop him! Please, Joffrey, no!
It's a real shock to the system, and immediately she has to adjust like that. And that's why at the end of episode 10, you see that change when she's up on kind of like the battlements, and she really thinks she's about to push Joffrey off. And that is the change in Sansa. That's what triggers the new Sansa.
Your words will disappear. Your house will disappear. Your name will disappear. All memory of you will disappear.
I didn't think Sansa had it in her to kill anyone at the beginning of the series, for sure, but all of these years that she's endured suffering from all of these people who have held her captive in one way or the other, this is her revenge on all of them. And it's the most satisfying thing she's ever done. Initially, the reunion between Sansa and Arya and Sansa and Bran is really exciting. It's only really until she has proper conversations with them that she realizes that Arya has a list of people that she wants to kill, and she's been training with faceless men. And Bran is three-eyed raven, sees visions. Sansa's never seen anything like this before.
I need to learn to see better. When the long night comes again, I need to be ready.
Jon has been hailed king in the north, and Sansa is just some sort of advisor. And Littlefinger really kind of feeds into that and is kind of the devil in her ear.
He was named king in the north. He can be unnamed.
Littlefinger is telling her that Arya being there is dangerous because Arya is a changed girl and wants to kill her.
After she murders you, what does she become?
Lady of Winterfell.
Sansa has become very good at manipulating Littlefinger, that you don't even realize that Sansa sees through Littlefinger's game. And she works with Arya to devise a plan to eventually kill Littlefinger.
Thank you for all your many lessons, Lord Baelish. I will never forget them.
That's what kind of cements her as Lady of Winterfell. And that's when the people begin to really respect her, because they realize that she isn't a pawn in his game either. That she has been manipulating the situation the whole time, and that she's a far better politician than any of them had really thought.
I never could have survived what you survived.
You would have. You're the strongest person I know.
I believe that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Well, don't get used to it. Still very strange and annoying.
Sansa and Arya now realize that they work very well together. And Bran, you know, as kind of a threesome, they're together, they kind of form the perfect unit.
Hey everyone, it's Fentony. I've had a request to the Sansa Stark promo, but I will get through to the other characters as well, so if you want to see your favourite next, just let me know. The Sansa promo doesn't actually reveal much about Season 8. Sophie Turner recaps Sansa's journey so far. Sansa is a very polarising character, a lot of people love her, and a lot of people hate her. The earlier seasons, I couldn't stand her, but that was her character. She was meant to be the silly little girl, living in a fantasy world. But now she's grown up a lot, she's been through so much, and she's really changed. Sophie Turner tells us that now Littlefinger's dead, she's cemented as the Lady of Winterfell, and the people respect her because she's not just a pawn. She's a far better politician than anyone else fought. Sophie Turner explains that Arya and Sansa work very well together, and with Bran they're the perfect unit. Sansa's got the politics and the people, Arya's got her swordsman skills and faceless man abilities, and of course Bran's the free-eyed raven. In Season 7 the Winterfell storyline has major issues, but it also has good moments as well. I love seeing Bran and Arya come back home, and also Arya fighting with Brienne. Of course Littlefinger's death was great, but almost everything else kinda felt unnecessary. You can tell the show wanted to kill off Littlefinger in the Season 7 finale, so it kinda dragged on the storyline. In Season 8, Winterfell is going to be the main plotline now, and in Episode 3 there's going to be a massive battle. So Winterfell this time around is not going to be the annoying subplot. We know she's not going to be happy with Jon Snow, and we have seen a short clip where Jon Snow and her embrace in the courtyard of Winterfell, and it's going to be kinda like how Robert Baratheon arrived in the first episode. In a new clip released by HBO, we finally see Sansa and Daenerys meet. Sansa welcomes Daenerys and tells her, "Winterfell is yours, your grace." I wouldn't say Sansa's exactly bending the knee, it's more of a formal greeting to the new queen. The people trust Sansa a lot now, not so much Jon Snow, especially now he's bringing Daenerys to Winterfell. But like I always say, the Army of the Dead is coming, the Northern Lords and everyone else, including Sansa, will be pretty stupid to start bickering whilst the threat of the entire Army of the Dead is on their doorstep. But I do think the Sansa and Daenerys relationship is going to be a big plot point for the first couple episodes. Episode 1 is going to have the reunions and all the first time meetings. Episode 2 is likely going to resolve all this, and then everyone in Winterfell preparing for the Night King. I imagine we're going to have a one-on-one scene of Sansa and Daenerys where they try and test each other. They were both sold off and married off to people they didn't want to marry. They were both physically, mentally and emotionally abused, but they've managed to overcome the disadvantage of being born a high-born woman and now become important players in the Game of Thrones. I actually feel that Jon might give way for Sansa, especially after his parentage is revealed. We're not actually sure what Sansa's reaction to this is going to be. She was never actually close to Jon as a child, but it's still going to come as a big shock. After the Castle Black scene in Season 6 where they reunite, they definitely became closer. There was some tension between Jon and Sansa in Season 7. Sansa disagreed with a lot of Jon's decisions, and Jon was not happy that Sansa was calling him out in front of everyone. And of course there's the whole Knights of the Vale situation where Sansa didn't tell Jon about them. The Starks have been through so much, they need to trust each other 100%, even after Jon Snow bending the knee and his parentage is revealed. Everyone needs to stick together during the long night. The lone wolf dies but the pack survives. And that's not just the Starks, everyone has to be on the same page. Sansa's not a warrior, so I'm not exactly sure what she's going to be doing during this battle in Episode 3. Maybe holding up in the keep with the other people that can't fight, or maybe down in the crypts or the Godswood. This battle in Episode 3 has multiple different points of view. It looks like it's the living versus the dead, but it could also involve Cersei's armies and the Golden Company. Obviously Cersei's agreed to help, but she's also betrayed them as well. This should be public knowledge through Jaime and Bran, so Jon and Dany should know that Cersei has no intention of helping. Sansa warned Jon about Cersei. She told him that he was so consumed with the Night King in the north, he's forgotten about the enemy to the south, which is Cersei. Jon kinda shrugged it off, saying the Lannister armies are a southern army, they cannot march north during the winter. But we've got to remember about the Golden Company and Euron Greyjoy's ships. Cersei sent Euron to Essos to get the Golden Company and ferry them back to Westeros. They could easily sail up north and hit Winterfell when no one expects them to. I definitely think Winterfell falls either by the hand of the Night King or by Cersei, or a combination of both. We know Cersei would love to get her hands on Sansa. What happens if the Golden Company brings Sansa back to King's Landing? Cersei would love to make her little dove suffer. Sansa did tell Brienne that she's not going to step foot in King's Landing while Cersei Lannister is the queen. If they want another Stark prisoner, they can come and take me. That definitely sounds like foreshadowing that Cersei will get her hands on Sansa. But here's another prediction. What happens if she captures the wrong highborn redhead? Alice Karstark also has red hair, and it's not like the Golden Company have been given a photo of Sansa and been told to look out for this person. Cersei would have told them to capture a highborn northern redheaded girl. But what happens if the Golden Company have mistaken Alys Stark for Sansa? Cersei will not be happy they've brought back the wrong redhead. Even though Winterfell falls, I think there will be survivors and they'll flee through secret tunnels below the crypts of Winterfell, and I think that Sansa could be one of them. She either escapes through the tunnels or she gets captured by Cersei. I think she'll make it down to King's Landing and play a massive part in Cersei's downfall. She might even be involved in Cersei's death. Cersei's death is not guaranteed, but a lot of people think it's gonna happen. Obviously Jaime's quite the obvious pick, and of course Arya wants to kill Cersei, she is on the list, but I've got a feeling Sansa's gonna be involved. Even if it's not Sansa that actually kills Cersei, she definitely has a part to play in the downfall of Cersei Lannister. I think that Cersei is Sansa's final boss. She's dealt with Ramsay, she's dealt with Littlefinger, she still has to deal with Cersei. They have so much history together, and even though Sansa hated her time at King's Landing, she learned a lot from Cersei, and she told Littlefinger and Jon she knows Cersei the best. I definitely think the show is setting up Cersei versus Sansa for the final season, but I want to hear what you think. What's Sansa going to be doing in the final season? She's obviously not a warrior, so she's not going to be wielding a sword into battle. I think that'd be a bit ridiculous, but I definitely think she plays a massive part in the downfall of Cersei. And what do you think about Alys Stark and Sansa being mixed up? I definitely think Season 7 was foreshadowing Cersei coming up north with the Golden Company and then Sansa getting captured, but having Sansa mixed up with Alys Stark would put a twist on it. Maybe we don't actually know that Sansa got away, all we know is Sansa was captured, but it turns out it's Alys Stark. I think that'd be a nice twist, and you can imagine Cersei's reaction when they pull out Alys Stark and not Sansa Stark. Of course, we've still got plenty more videos to come. I'm still working my way through these promos. We're still waiting on that trailer. It's likely to drop sometime either this month or next. So as always, remember to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and then subscribe and like the video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.